Former President Donald Trump is back in the headlines, and this time, it's a battle over the very foundation of American governance. Trump has taken aim at what he sees as an infringement on his executive power. He's filed a petition to the Supreme Court. This petition challenges lower court rulings that blocked him from firing Hampton Dellinger. Dellinger is the head of the Office of Special Counsel. The case represents a crucial test for the nation's highest court. It delves into the heart of the balance of power in Washington. The outcome could have far-reaching implications for how the United States government functions. The case is about more than just one firing. It's about the extent of presidential power. Trump argues that he has the absolute right to fire any executive branch official. He believes this right is essential to his ability to execute the law. The lower courts disagreed. They ruled that Congress can put limits on the president's ability to fire certain officials. These officials, like Dellinger, are appointed to ensure independence and oversight within the government. The Supreme Court must now decide who is right. Hampton Dellinger was appointed by President Biden to head the Office of Special Counsel. This agency is tasked with investigating wrongdoing within the government. Dellinger's position is designed to be independent. He has a term that extends beyond the president's term. This structure is meant to protect him from political pressure. It allows him to investigate misconduct without fear of reprisal. Trump's attempt to fire Dellinger sent shockwaves through Washington. Critics saw it as a blatant attempt to shield himself and his allies from scrutiny. Dellinger refused to go quietly. He argued that his firing was illegal. He pointed to a law that protects independent agency leaders from removal without cause. This law, he claimed, was designed to prevent exactly this kind of power grab. The lower courts agreed with Dellinger. They issued a temporary order allowing him to remain in his position. This set the stage for a showdown in the Supreme Court. The lower court's decisions in favor of Dellinger were a clear rebuke of Trump's expansive view of executive power. These courts ruled that Congress has the authority to place limits on the president's removal power. They argued that these limits are crucial for maintaining a system of checks and balances. The judges pointed to the specific law protecting Dellinger. This law states that he can only be removed for inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office. Trump did not provide any of these reasons when he fired Dellinger. This made the dismissal seem like a raw exercise of power. The lower court rulings were hailed by those concerned about executive overreach. They saw it as a victory for the rule of law. However, the Trump administration was not deterred. They quickly appealed to the Supreme Court, setting the stage for a high-stakes legal battle. Section 4. The Trump administration's case, unfettered executive authority. The Trump administration is making a sweeping argument before the Supreme Court. They claim that any restriction on the president's removal power is unconstitutional. They argue that the president must have complete control over the executive branch to carry out his constitutional duties. They cite historical precedent and the intentions of the founding fathers to support their claim. They argue that the president's ability to fire anyone in the executive branch is essential for accountability and effective governance. They point to the Constitution's vesting clause. This clause gives the president the executive power. They argue that this power includes the inherent authority to remove executive officials without interference from Congress. They also cite previous Supreme Court rulings that upheld broad executive power in areas like national security and foreign policy. Section 5. Awaiting the Supreme Court's verdict, the stakes for American democracy. The Supreme Court's decision in this case could have a profound impact on the balance of power in Washington. If Trump prevails, it could give future presidents almost unlimited power to shape the federal bureaucracy in their image. They could remove any official who challenges their agenda. This could undermine the independence of key agencies. It could also erode the system of checks and balances that is fundamental to American democracy. On the other hand, if the Supreme Court upholds the lower court rulings, it would affirm the ability of Congress to place limits on presidential power. This would be a victory for those who believe in a more constrained executive branch. The court's decision is expected soon, and all eyes are on this case. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of democratic institutions and the constant need to safeguard them against abuses of power. The future of American governance may hinge on the words of the 9 justices.